I remember the taste of that evening. Bitter champagne, her red nails tapping the crystal like a war drum. The terrace in Dubai shimmered with lights, but my world narrowed to her voice. "Just a nanny who trapped my son," she sneered. Then she laughed, sharp, victorious, after wiring away my inheritance. $850,000, money my father had entrusted to me, siphoned with the stroke of her pen and her army of lawyers. I didn't flinch, not then, because rage is useless when your enemy feeds on it. I only smiled back, a curve she mistook for weakness. She didn't notice the silence between my breaths, the silence of calculation. I met her 5 years earlier, before the money, before the mask slipped. She was draped in diamonds, her perfume the kind that stung the throat, her smile rehearsed to disarm. She had shaken my hand at the engagement party and whispered, "At least you're pretty. That's something." I should have known then, but love is a blindfold. Her son adored me, and I thought she'd learn to tolerate what she couldn't control. I thought wrong. Even at our wedding, her eyes were measuring me like cheap fabric. Yet I played along, played the dutiful daughter-in-law, because I believed peace could be negotiated. But peace was never her business. Control was. The betrayal began in fragments. A missing bank statement, a lawyer who stopped returning my calls, a trustee who looked at me with pity when I asked about my father's estate. I followed the breadcrumbs, each one poisoned, a signature forged, a fund reallocated, a trust dissolved without my knowledge. And then the confirmation, her laughing over dinner with her friends at the Burj Al Arab. I was seated in shadow, close enough to hear. She thought she inherited it, she chuckled. Sweet little nanny. But money always flows up, never down. They laughed with her. I tasted blood on my tongue from biting it so hard. I left before dessert. Grief wanted me to scream. Humiliation wanted me to crumble. But I chose neither. Instead, I went home, closed the curtains, and poured a glass of water. I let the silence sharpen me. My father's will had a clause she had overlooked. Hidden in the legal architecture, buried in the fine print, any funds wrongfully transferred would revert, with interest, to the surviving heir if challenged within 3 years. But it wasn't enough to simply win back the money. No, that would let her walk away untouched. I needed her to lose. So I waited. I smiled at her brunches. I endured her barbs. I played the part she scripted for me. Timid, naive, unworthy. Meanwhile, I fed information to the lawyers she didn't know I had. I photographed documents left on marble countertops. I traced her shell companies through clerks too underpaid to care about discretion. Every detail went into a quiet dossier, each page another brick in the coffin she didn't know was being built. I didn't need to confront her. Life would. All I had to do was be patient. The night of her flight, she toasted herself with vintage Dom Perignon. "To freedom," she said, before boarding her private jet bound for the Alps. She thought she had won, thought she had secured her empire, untouchable in the clouds. But empires built on theft are fragile. Sometimes gravity does the work for you. When news came of the crash, I didn't cry. Her friends wailed. Her son collapsed. I sat very still, because grief has no place where justice sits. And then the call came. The accounts, in her name, the banker's voice quivered, are no longer valid. The assets are reverting. All of them. Not just my inheritance, not just what she stole. Her accounts, her holdings, her empire. Everything she had touched with greedy hands now answered to me. I could almost hear her scream from the wreckage, the realization chasing her into the snow. I think back to her words on that terrace. Just a nanny who trapped my son? Maybe she was right. I had been a nanny once. I knew how to soothe tantrums, how to wait out screams, how to lull a monster into believing they were in control. She underestimated the quiet discipline of someone who knows patience is the sharpest weapon. Now I walk through her penthouse in Dubai. The marble floors echo differently when they belong to me. Her portrait still hangs above the fireplace, a smirk frozen in oil. I let it stay, a trophy, a warning. My husband doesn't ask how the accounts changed hands. He doesn't want to know. Some truths are too heavy to carry in marriage. All he knows is that we're free. And me, I know something else. Revenge isn't fire, it's ice, it's silence. It's the steady smile you hold while your enemy digs their own grave. Her jet fell from the sky, but I had already clipped her wings. Karma's a luxury, darling, and it looks exquisite on me.